Luke, can you just get your thoughts on that? What's he like out on the training track? He looks like an extremely hard worker and probably sets the tone for a lot of guys.
Yeah, he's a great guy to have around the footy club. I think he's a great role model for any young guy coming through, and certainly goes about his footy the way anyone who wants to be successful should. Great to play with, team man. I think he really took Scotty Selwood under his wing when he first got to the club, and it's starting to rub off on him. And he's the sort of guy I encourage any young guy who gets drafted to this club to follow his example. It's great to play with.
With the benefit of hindsight, do you think you did the right thing playing personally on the weekend?
It was good, wasn't
I didn't mean that.
Nah, that's all right, bro.
They subdued.
We're a pretty close menu. Look, I wanted to get back this year and have a crack. Unfortunately, it was a tough night, not only for the team but personally. But the plan was always to get subbed out, just monitor the hamstring. But I think I made the coach's job a bit easier by not getting a kick, really.
So that was the plan, always to be subbed out, was it?
Yeah, so given the 6-day turnaround till Collingwood this week, didn't really want to play a full game. I obviously didn't play any waffle, so it was really my first hit out, apart from the half against Sydney in about 7 weeks. So
you missed a lot of footy, though, haven't you? That you're really going in underdone, aren't you?
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, I remember when I first pinged the hammy and I looked at it as a 3-week injury and thought it's not that big of a deal, but I do it a second time and all of a sudden it's a big chunk out of the season, and it's disappointing. But at the time, from my point of view, I just wanted the team to keep winning, and hopefully I'll be back for September and all these few games now and then finals footy. But unfortunately it's probably not going to pan out that way. But the plan was to get back and have a crack at playing again and get a couple more games in before season's end.
And you pulled up okay, like you're right to go for Friday?
Yeah, pulled up pretty well. So, looking forward to hopefully a full game and a bit more of an impact.
Get picked?
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Saturday night, you obviously outclassed by Geelong's midfield. Going forward and looking at Collingwood's obviously a very good midfield as well. What do you take forward and what lessons do you learn from that?
Yeah, I think we've shown in the past that we can match it. We've matched it with Geelong before, and we've certainly matched it with Collingwood. They probably are, along with Sydney, and Hawthorn, it's no coincidence they're the top 4 teams, but they're the best midfields getting around, so it's a great challenge for us. And given our injuries, our young guys in the team, it's a great experience to play against the best players in the competition. Like Pritter said before, I think our desire at the contest on Saturday night wasn't good enough. And if we play that way again this Friday night, we're going to get belted. There's no doubt about that. So we've plenty of room for improvement, and it's got to happen within 6 days. Otherwise, we'll get taught a lesson again.
Matt touched on the attitude of the team may not have been at its best. How do you improve that for Friday?
It's always a tough question talking about how you improve attitude and that. I think, it's a tough one to answer. I can't really answer it for you, but we've just got to hope that. I think at the start of the year we said we want to pride ourselves on being able to play our best footy, anywhere on any day of the week, and unfortunately we haven't done that this year. Whether it's inexperience with a lot of our young kids, or we're just not switched on. But it's a tough one to answer. But fingers crossed we've learned a lesson from Saturday night. And
would you consider not playing the last 2 games? I mean, if there's any risk, surely it's worth just sitting out, let Hutchings play whoever. You don't need the experience. Save it up for next year.
I mean, if the hammy's right, there's no real risk to keep playing because otherwise I wouldn't be out there. We're lucky enough to have the best medical staff in the country working at AFL clubs. So, I'm in good hands. I trust the people that I'm dealing with. And I guess if there was any soreness or any risk, they wouldn't let me play. But I'll be right.
But you want to play?
Yeah, I want to play. Yeah.
Does the Friday night stage give you maybe a bit of a pep up? I mean, finals seem to be done and dusted. Does that just give you some sort of incentive that you're on the big stage, I suppose, this Friday?
I think more the fact that we're playing against a real premiership contender. It's just another great challenge for the group. Going into these last few games of the season, it'd be great if we can take a really big scout with us on the way out. Take a lot of confidence into off-season and the start of pre-season.
Apart from injuries, what have you identified as what went wrong this year? Not living up to the potential.
I don't think there's been a lot of trust on field amongst the group. Just in terms of our game plan, whether that's again the inexperience and suppose with all the guys coming in with injuries and that, whether we haven't played together a lot. I think it's just a natural thing that over time you do develop trust and a really good relationship with the guys you play with. So, hopefully, blooding these young guys this year is a really good step forward for next year, and looking to bounce back next year to where we were last year.
So that lack of cohesion, players coming in now, it does make a difference.
Oh, it certainly makes a difference playing with guys that you haven't played with a lot. You look at Geelong, and it's no reason they're the probably the best team in the competition. Half their team has played over 150 games together. So we just got to keep sticking together with our young guys, and the older guys now we really need to step up and lead by example over pre-season. And we feel we're a pretty tight group, but I think it's just a natural thing that when you play together on field, you get the chemistry right, and I think it shows in your results.
Tactically, do you think that you need to tweak quite a few things going into next year?
No, I think we've showed this year that the game plan we've got when we're on song and playing team first footy, it's the right game plan. We've played really well at some stages this season, so I think it's just a matter of finding out why we've got these injuries, getting everyone on the park, and then getting everyone to buy into to the one game plan and really gelling together.
Did you see the Dean Cox incident at all the other night?
No, I didn't actually see what happened, but I don't think there's a lot in it.
He's been offered a reprimand, so that'll be good news. You'd be happy with that. I mean,
it's a pretty good result. Obviously, Joel Selwood wouldn't go down too easy, so they're bound to look at it. But it's a great result for Dino.
Luke, big learning year for yourself, not just the injuries and having to cope with them, but also you're probably one of the first two players that gets tagged now when opponents line up West Coast.
Yeah, it's a great challenge that football throws at me. Obviously, it's to be where I want to be as a footballer. It's something I'm going to have to learn to cope with. And I felt at the halfway mark of the season, I was really starting to play some consistent footy, and unfortunately did my hamstring. I was hopefully going to have a really big second half of the year, but wasn't to be. But it's a great goal for me next year to strive to get back there and hopefully keep learning from these challenges that get thrown my way.
How much better equipped do you reckon you'll be come the start of next season as a result of what you've gone through this year?
Oh, look, another 12, 13 games experience. Obviously this year helped with certain guys getting injured and going out. This year there's been times when we've all had to step up as individuals and shoulder more of a workload, and it's been great. I think Gaffy's really learned to overcome getting tagged this second half of the year. We've seen his numbers. He's been getting some pretty big numbers despite copping some close attention. So, you look at a midfield like Sydney or even Geelong still, and quite often the tag gets shared around, and they make sure that the guys who aren't getting followed as hard really step up and have an impact on the game. And I think that's the level we've got to get to.
do you hope Curry goes on so that he can draw some more fire for another year at least?
Yeah, I'd love Curry to go on. Not so much for the fact that I want him to take the tag or anything. Just he's proved that he's a champion player, and if he can get his body right, I'm sure he can still have a really good impact at this level.
I was speaking to Josh Kennedy before. His big chance to get the Coleman medal, a big great thing I suppose for the Eagles to take over the season.
That's all he's talking about at the moment. Yeah.
Well, with us, he was trying to talk it down. So
yeah, of course he would. The cameras are rolling. He's as humble as they get. Honestly, he hasn't mentioned it. We sometimes mention it in front of him just to stir him up. But yeah, he's the first guy you'd expect to play team first footy, and great to play with. Unfortunately, we couldn't give him much of a crack on Saturday night, but hopefully in the next 2 weeks he can have a couple of big games, and it'd be a great individual accolade for him to look back on in a pretty disappointing year for a team.
You'd be looking for him? Will you be trying to find him, do you think? Trying to hit him up?
I don't actually know whether it crossed my mind out there in the heat of the moment, but I'd love to see him walk off the ground with 5 or 6 next to his name.
Giants guys have said they're going to try and target Jeremy Cameron over the next couple of weeks to try and get him over the line.
They've been doing it all season anyway, haven't they? I think it's like 99% of their target inside 50, but he's a star, isn't he? Jeremy Cameron, he's going to be a really good player.
Look, just another one that may or may not go on, Andrew Embley. How important would it be for the midfield to keep him? Is he really a required player in that midfield next year?
Yeah, he's still got a few tricks up his old sleeves. He showed on the weekend. He came on and in less than half a foot he had pretty pretty good impact on the game, despite us getting belted. So, look, if he can stay fresh, and the rest of the team knows that he's got plenty left to give, and he can play a huge role in us being successful.
He's on 249, but it'd be nice to see him get 250 this year.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident he'll stay in the team after the weekend's performance. So, it'd be a great milestone for him. He's a great fella, fantastic work ethic, and like Pritter, he's a great guy to watch train and really take a lot out of his book, and that'll help any young kid be successful.